Hello Nidorinos and Nidorinos and welcome to Fortree City, where today the Fortree Flyers are going to be facing the Striaton Spring. Now both these sides are top 8 teams, so they have a lot riding on this with only 3 rounds left. Striaton Spring starting out with Serena and Tangrowth, whereas Hawlucha and Sigilyph are going to start out for the Fortree Flyers. Now let us know in the comments below who you think is going to win today, the Flyers or the Spring. Now the Fortree Flyers do have a type advantage over the Striaton Spring, so we'll see if they can capitalize on that today. This Hawlucha will be going first for the Flyers, and it's going to start out with a Toxic, so this could actually be really good, as it's going to badly poison Tangrowth here, so it's going to get worse every turn. So Tangrowth's going to be poisoned to start off this battle, and Sigilyph, with the opportunity to follow up for the Flyers, goes with the Recycle. That will fail though. Now Serena with its opportunity. Serena goes with the Charm. Uses that Charm there on Hawlucha. So Hawlucha is going to have its attack lowered. And Hawlucha does have a very good attack of 92. I actually thought it would be higher though, being a fighting type. As Tangrowth goes with a Nuzzle on Sigilyph. Now it is super effective, but it's not a very powerful move. However, it will leave Sigilyph paralyzed and slow it down. Now here's Tangrowth taking that damage from the poisoning. Now as always, this is a 6-on-6 Metronome battle, and if we hit that 20-minute time limit, we will go into single battle overtime. Now as always, the Fortree Flyers very commonly have the speed advantage, as they already showed in the first turn. And Hawlucha is going to use that Roar and send Serena back to the bench. It is not eliminated, even though it's just left the field. So Exeggutor in its Alolan form now comes out onto the field for the Striaton Spring. It's got that Frisk ability, but as we already know, everyone in the Elite Challenge League is holding onto a Leper Berry. Tangrowth now is going to go with that Aqua Ring. This will counteract that Toxic that it suffered from with that poisoning. So it's going to restore some health in between turns, but it's also going to still take damage from that poison. Sigilyph now is going to go with the Triple Axle. So it shakes off the poison and hits Exeggutor once. It's a super effective move. It's got it twice. And it's got it 3 times. Exeggutor has been eliminated. Didn't even have any impact on this battle whatsoever. And just like that, the Fortree Flyers have taken the lead. Now Tangrowth gets back to 100% thanks to that Aqua Ring, but loses that health that just restored thanks to the poisoning. Now Serena's going to come back out onto the field. That was actually a really good play when you think about it by the Fortree Flyers, sending Serena back to the bench, and Sigilyph getting that Triple Axle to eliminate Exeggutor already. So an early lead for the Fortree Flyers. Hawlucha sets up for its move, and it goes with a Parabolic Charge. This will hit everyone on the field. It'll be super effective on its own teammate Sigilyph, taking Sigilyph down into the yellow. Now Hawlucha would have restored some health, but I believe it was already at full strength, so almost useless for the Fortree Flyers. A poor move as Ancient Power comes with Serena onto Sigilyph, and that's going to finish Sigilyph off. So already, with a critical hit, the Striaton Spring have leveled things out on this playing field. Tangrowth now has the chance to focus solely on Hawlucha, and it's going to go with a Shift Gear, so it's not going for an offensive type move. Instead, it's going to boost its stats here. There's Tangrowth boosting its speed. I doubt it'll be going faster than Hawlucha, but it also boosts its attack in the process. There's that Aqua Ring and Poisoning coming into effect again for Tangrowth. As Unpheasant now comes out for the Fortree Flyers. Now Unpheasant was actually the 10th draft pick for the Fortree Flyers this season, but it has performed quite well when needed. See if I can repeat that again today. As we get a Fusion Bolt coming from Tangrowth, so it is now the quickest on the field. And it goes for Unpheasant, and it's a one-hit wonder, so Unpheasant is eliminated with that super effective move. So clearly it is absolutely useless for the Fortree Flyers in this battle here today. Now Hawlucha is going to respond, and it's going to go with the Lance Wrath. This won't be very effective, but it will hit both Tangrowth and Serena. Some very minimal damage being done to both Grass-type Pokemon there. But what an impressive hit there by Tangrowth, as we get a Seismic Toss coming from Serena. Sends Hawlucha up into the sky there and brings it straight back down. Decent hit on the flying fighting type Pokemon. That Fusion Bolt though from Tangrowth, what an impressive hit as Tangrowth is taken down into the yellow thanks to that poisoning. Noivern now coming out for the Fortree Flyers, Dragon Flying type Pokemon. But impressive for the Striaton Spring to take the lead the way they have. Noivern now going with a Fusion Flare. Perfect move in response to that Fusion Bolt. Looks like it's going to go for Tangrowth as well. And it gets the elimination. Tangrowth is eliminated with that super effective hit from Noivern, so we're all tied up here again. in Fortree City, as Hawlucha's got its chance to focus solely on Serena, goes with the skill swap. So they're going to switch abilities here. So Hawlucha's Mold Breaker is going to go to Serena, and the Queenly Majesty comes to Hawlucha. Now Serena with an opportunity to capitalize. If we can get out an electric type move, but instead goes with the Heat Wave, so going for the fire type. And it's going to hit both Noivern and Hawlucha, takes Hawlucha down into the yellow. Now Striaton Spring is sending out Leafy on the evolution, coming out onto the field. Now both these sides, Fortree Fly sitting 5th, Striaton Spring sitting 8th, so they're in wildcard positions for the championship trials in 3 weeks. Both sides would rather get up into the top 4 as Noivern goes with the rising voltage, targeting Serena there. Not very effective. Hawlucha looking to follow up. And it's going to go with a Trop Kick, so another not very effective attack on the grass types, hitting Leafeon there, doing very minimal damage, but it will lower Leafeon's attack. Leafeon's going to go for its first move of the matchup. And it's going to go with the heal bell. That bell will chime, but it does fail. Now Serena's going with the infestation. Targets Noivern with that move. Now it doesn't do a great deal of damage at first, being not very effective. But that infestation is going to continue to inflict damage on Noivern, and it actually did more than what the initial infestation did. So Noivern will be taking damage in between turns thanks to that. And Noivern is the second quickest Pokemon on the Fortree Fly, so it's no surprise that it's going first if that Swallow does fail. Now we're getting an Electro Web coming from Hawlucha. It's going to hit both Serena and Leafeon, so it's good to hit both of them and slow down both Pokemon, but it's still not very effective, so it does very minimal damage. And lowering their speed doesn't really benefit the Fortree Flyers because they're already quicker than the Striaton Spring. Leafeon now is going to go with the Dragon Pulse. Surely it's going to want to go for Noivern here. Instead it goes for Hawlucha and takes Hawlucha down into the red. Serena could follow up here, goes with the Mega Drain, it'll get the stab boost, and it does go for Hawlucha, and Hawlucha's hanging on still after that not very effective attack. There's that infestation, still doing damage to Noivern, but I'm still amazed that Hawlucha was able to hold on even though it was not very effective. Still, just by a thread. Fortree Flies need to capitalize on their flying type advantage as we get a Steel Roller coming from Noivern, but that does fail. Hawlucha tries for the Spirit Shackle. Going for Leafeon with this move. And not much damage there being done to the evolution. Leafeon now is going to respond with a Heat Crash. And it goes for Noivern with that attack, not very effective. Doing very minimal damage to both sides here. Serena goes with the Encore, and that is going to fail. As that infestation continuing to chip away at Noivern, taking it down into the yellow. Now the Fortree Flies are sitting 5th. They have won their last 2 games. If they win today, they could potentially climb up into the top 4. That would be very good for them as we head into the championship trials. Noivern goes with the Slash here. Going for Serena. Doesn't do a great deal of damage as Serena and Hawlucha have been in this battle since the very beginning. Hawlucha goes with the Grudge. So it doesn't go for an offensive move, but it does wait to see if a target hits it. Leafeon now goes with the Fake Tears. Lowers Hawlucha's special defense, so see if Serena can follow it up. Hawlucha's hanging on by a thread, so if it takes any damage, you've got to think it'll be eliminated, but Serena goes with the Shore Up. That's going to restore its health here. Serena could potentially get itself back to 100%, and that it does, so Serena is now at full strength, and that infestation is still afflicting Noivern, which is very bad for the Dragon type. Noivern needs to do something in this battle, and it goes with a Recover, so it is going to restore some much needed health. It could actually be a very good play by the Dragon type. Hawlucha still hanging on, needs to get some moves out, goes with the Solar Blade, so it's going to absorb some light on this turn. Now this won't be very effective, but it will connect in the next turn. See if the Striaton Sprinkle can eliminate it beforehand. As we get an X-Scissor coming from Leafeon, and it does go for Hawlucha and gets the elimination, so Hawlucha is eliminated and the Striaton Spring have taken the lead. Serina's going to follow up, has its chance to focus solely on Noivern here. And it's going to go with a substitute. This could be a very good play by Serena. It's going to put the substitute in its place after giving up some of its health. That Infestation still on Noivern. Fifth Pokemon now coming out for the Fortree Flyers, and it's Talonflame now. Talonflame has that fire and flying type, so both types that it has have an advantage over the grass types. The Talonflame is the quickest Pokemon for the Fortree Flyers, and it goes with a court change that will fail. Noivern now going for its turn, and it's going to go with the Cotton Spore, but it doesn't affect Leafeon or Serena. Now Leafeon is going to go with the Aqua Tail. If it goes for Talonflame, it'll be super effective, but instead it goes for Noivern, so it's not very effective. Now Serena is going to go for its turn. Switches place with a substitute here, and it goes with the Shadow Claw. And it goes for Noivern as well. A decent hit there, taking Noivern down into the yellow. And Noivern's finally been freed from that infestation. Now Talonflame goes with the Electric Terrain. This could actually be a hindrance to the Fortree Flyers, as it will pair up electric type attacks. And they're already susceptible to them as it is. Noivern. It's now going to go with the Surf. This is going to hit everybody on the field, including Talonflame, and it'll be super effective against Talonflame, as Noivern rides that Surf, takes Talonflame down into the yellow, and the substitute takes the damage for Serena. Gets that critical hit on Leafeon as well, who is also taken down into the yellow. Now Leafeon's going to respond with the Toxic Spikes, which means any Pokemon that comes onto the side of the field of the Fortree Flyers will land on those spikes, but because the Flyers are all flying type, none of them will stand on the spikes. If we see another court change, those Toxic Spikes will go onto the side of the Striaton Spring. As we get a Roost coming from Serena, so Serena's going to restore its health again. Considering it used its own health to bring out that substitute, now Serena is back at 100%. That's a very good play by the Grass type. Talonflame yet to capitalize on its fire typing. It's going to go with a bulk up. Talonflame boosts its attack and defense here. It's Noivern looking to follow up that Surf. Definitely doesn't want to do more damage to Talonflame. Goes with a nasty plot. Noivern boosts its special attack here. Leafeon gonna go with the Aromatic Mist, so nobody's going for much offensive moves here. Instead, just altering stats. Serena's special defense does get a boost. Now Serena's going with the Payback. So finally we see an offensive move on this turn. Targeting Noivern here, and Noivern is eliminated by Serena with that Payback. A very impressive hit, as the Flying Dragon type is eliminated from this matchup, and the last Pokemon for the Flyers comes out, and it is their pseudo-legendary Salamence, another Dragon Flying type. And Serena's seen every Pokemon on the side of the Fortree Flyers today. Talonflame is going to go with the Perish Song. This is terrible for the Fortree Flyers. They only have 2 Pokemon left, which means when this Perish Song ends, the Fortree Flyers will be taken out of this battle. Salamence gonna go with the Anchor Shot here, targeting the substitute of Serena. And that substitute has finally faded as Serena comes back into its place. Leafeon now. It's gonna go with the Cosmic Power, so it's gonna boost its stats here. You see those beautiful stars rising up around Leafeon. Leafeon boosting its defense and special defense. Serena now going to go with the Ice Fang. If it targets Salamence, this will do massive damage. Instead goes for Talonflame and takes Talonflame down into the red, as everybody's perish count will fall to 3. This is terrible for the Fortree Flyers. Salamence is surely not happy with Talonflame using that Perish Song. Fortree Flyers need to get some fast eliminations here, as we get a Bone Meringue coming from Talonflame. Targeting Serena. Now it's not very effective. Gets 2 hits with that Bone Meringue though. Now Salamence setting up for its turn. And it's going to go with the reversal. Also targeting Serena does very minimal damage to the grass type. Leafeon looking to respond for its side. Gonna go with the slack off and restore some of its own health. Leafeon and Serena have been in this battle for quite some time now, as Leafeon almost gets itself back to full strength. Now Serena coming up on 15 minutes in this matchup, goes with the Octolock onto Salamence. Salamence will have its defense and special defense lowered, as that perish count for everyone on the field now falls to 2. There's only 2 turns remaining for the Fortree Flies to be able to win this. This is looking terrible for them, which is good for the Striaton Spring, who are sitting 8th. So they just inched their way into the top 8 after winning last week. Talonflame going with a stomp onto Leafeon. Doesn't do a great deal of damage though. They're just not getting it done here, are the Fortree Flyers. As we're going to see another surf from the Flyers, Salamence clearly does not care about Talonflame right now, because Talonflame is eliminated with its taking damage from its second surf of the matchup. Seeing Salamence ride that surf and eliminate its teammate. Now Salamence will get a boost due to its Moxie hidden ability, but it's only going to have one more opportunity after this turn, as we get a metal sound coming from Leafeon. And again, Salamence has its special defense lowered. See if Serena can capitalize on this, or if they're just going to wait for the Perish Song to finish off Salamence. This is a very poor way for the Fortree Flyers to lose here today, and they've only gotten 2 eliminations on the side of the Striaton Spring. Now, Poison Spikes have left the field, as has the Electric Terrain. Salamence's defense and special defense continues to lower, and here's that Perish count falling to 1, which means this will be everybody's last turn of this matchup. We'll see if Serena or Leafeon can get the elimination on Salamence, because regardless, they will faint at the end of this turn. Now Salamence has that speed and goes with a Water Gun, another water type attack on the grass types. Very minimal damage there to Serena. Now Leafeon goes with the Glare, so it's going to paralyze Salamence, which is almost irrelevant at this point in the matchup. Now Salamence is at full strength as well. Now Serena goes with the Confide, so it doesn't go for the offensive move, which means the Perish Song is just going to finish the job here. What an unbelievable way for this to finish. Serena used up all of its Metronome, so it will end up eating its Leopard Berry, but it's irrelevant now at this stage of the battle, as everybody's Perish count will fall to 0. So first Leafeon is eliminated. Now Serena being eliminated. So that's, even though 4 Pokemon were eliminated from the Striaton Spring, the Flyers have lost here today in a very anticlimactic way, as Salamence is eliminated due to that Perish Song. What an unfortunate way for the Fortree Flyers to lose, especially when they've been doing so well, getting themselves into 5th position, but clearly they're going to slip down the ladder, as we only have 2 rounds left after this in the Elite Challenge League Home and Away season before we go to the Championship Trials. Now that elimination of Exeggutor at the start of the battle was very impressive, but the Fortree Flyers just could not keep it together, even though they were able to eliminate Tangrowth, who got an amazing one-hit wonder on Unpheasant. We'll see if the Fortree Flyers can redeem themselves next week when they travel to Balonley City to take on the Balonley Angels. Whereas the Striaton Spring had an easy victory here today, and next week though, their challenge will be a lot more difficult when they host the Olivine Orange Striaton City. So I look forward to that matchup, as the Striaton Spring were at one stage sitting in 2nd place, only 1 spot behind the Orr, who've been so dominant this season. So we'll see if the Spring can take it to the Orr. And they'll need a lot more luck on their side than what they did today, as the Fortree Flyers just seem to be infighting and doing nothing to help themselves. Talonflame leading to Salamence's elimination, and Salamence leading to Talonflame's elimination, as that Perish count ended the battle here. But Nidorinos, thank you so much for watching. What an odd way for one of these Elite Challenge League matches to finish. But let us know in the comments below who you thought was the best on field. We didn't even find out who the last 2 Pokemon were for the Striaton Spring. But if you enjoyed what you saw, leave a like, share, subscribe, but more importantly, always remember, you are awesome, and I will speak to you next time.